All right, welcome back to the channel. Got a little project going on here today. If you watched my last video, the tournament video, down on the lower Colorado River, you noticed I was fishing without a motor. And my last day of pre-fishing, my motor fried. And I'm going to say it was my fault. I learned not that long ago that there was some maintenance items that you need to do to this thing to protect it. And I'm going to tell you, if you have one of these motors and you haven't replaced this, I don't know, they call it a lower unit repair kit. And it's just seals and things, right? I'll bring it up here. It's Motorguide parts. It's got seals in there, some brush replacement springs, but this is an absolute necessity to do to your motors. And you should replace this kit, I'm going to say, once a season. And I didn't do that. I've been running this trolling motor for about 3 years, and I had bought this kit with all good intentions to take it apart and do it, and I didn't get it done, and it cost me. So I did pull this apart at the boat ramp down there at the river, and a bunch of water poured out of here. We were going to try to revive it, just clean the brushes and at least get it going for, you know, the next day, tournament day. But my brushes were fried. It was, I don't even know how the motor ran. I mean, I pre-fished for 4 days. I don't know how I got as many miles out of this motor as I did during that pre-fishing. Yeah, pretty incredible. It was ugly inside here, but what we're going to do today is we're going to replace this entire lower unit. And I do have a shaft coming as well. As I understand it, it's hard to get this shaft off of the lower unit without breaking it. Hopefully we can do that because my shaft isn't here yet. It's not due in, I think, till hopefully Monday. But I ordered that just in case. And I got it from a good source, Paul Travis, that telling me how hard it is to get this off without breaking it. He's done a lot of work on these motors, so I trust his advice. So anyway, we're going to get started. Real quick, this particular kit that I was talking about, I ordered that off of eBay from a company called Boat Goat. And, you know, they were quick to get this sent out. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. All my videos are not sponsored videos. And here is the lower unit. Brand new lower unit, and got it from the same guy, Boat Goat. I could have ordered the motor that's inside here and a brush kit and such and just replaced that. And I'm going to, actually. I'm going to rebuild this lower unit and keep it as a spare. The cost difference between buying a complete lower unit and buying all those parts wasn't that much. So I felt like, you know what, let's have a spare. So I got a new one that we're going to put on here now, and then we'll rebuild this one once I get those parts ordered, and we'll have us a spare to use. So anyway, stick with me. Let's get this thing torn down and see how it goes. So stick around. Get our prop removed here. And of course, the little pin always drops out. Alright, got to pull these two bolts out here. They're, what is that, 5/16. These bolts go all the way through, so they're long. There. quite long. Alright, here she comes. See how long those bolts are. So part of this seal kit, in here there's some little seals on these long bolts here, and that seal kit does come with replacement seals for that, as besides the large O-rings in here. But let's see here, this is sort of coming. Alright, we got the back off, and hopefully you can see inside that. You can see some corrosion and stuff. There was definitely, you know, water got in there, and that seal just looks like crap, you know, so it was definitely leaking. You know, your trolling motors take a beating, and you know, you shouldn't be surprised that this happens. You know, maintenance is key to making things last, that's for sure, and unfortunately, I didn't do that. Let's see, does that come on? Alright, I want to give you a look inside here. Hopefully you can see that. I mean, there's just mud in there and corrosion, and I mean it's ugly. Definitely had water in there, so again, you want to maintain this stuff, but if it does fry on you, it's not the end of the world. We're gonna bring some life back into this motor, so here we go. Alright, so I'm having trouble getting this piece here off, and what it is it's you know, it's still wired in, and that wire runs up through the shaft here. So we're going to have to disassemble this upper piece, give us some slack so we can get that on out of here. So there's 5 screws right here that we're going to take out, and let's get them out. Alright, got that piece off. So we're going to go ahead and take this whole unit off because it needs to come off anyway. So we're going to cut some wires here. We'll just have to put these back together with wire nuts, but on the new harness. So let's get that. There we go. That makes a difference. Alright, then we got our, I believe this is the GPS unit. Or, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the GPS unit I'm pulling out here. It does have a symbol here telling me which side is up and which side goes down. It says up. So that goes on there like that. So that That's all removed now. Plenty of slack there. Dropping our screws that we took out. There's a big set screw on this back side that you want to remove, and then you can get this head unit off. Yeah. Now that head unit comes off. Put that back in there so we don't lose it. Alright. Take the rope off. Set it aside out of the way. Actually, we can go ahead and remove that piece. And our whole shaft now slides right out of that. So now we're just working with this, which is great. We can get all of this out of our way. Yeah, now this piece is coming. Dirty and greasy. Here's those wires. Pulling those out, that'll give us some slack. The reason this is so tough is because of all the corrosion and crap that was in there. So now we can pull that out. And hopefully you can see how bad this is. I mean, my brushes are completely gone. I mean, they are just ate up. And when we pulled that apart, we were going to clean the brushes and the area that the brushes rub on to kind of revive it for a short term, but there was no reviving this. So yeah, we were long gone in regards to being able to revive this thing. So, but what we can do is replace this whole brush set, and we're going to do that at a later date. Like I said, right now we're just going to replace the whole unit. So there we go. There's that. Can have a look at this one too. And this motor comes right out, just like that. I mean, this is ugly. And here's the section where the brushes rub against. But that motor right there is toast. Here's the inside of this. I don't know if you can see that very well. But now we got to wrestle and try to get this shaft off. I don't know how much luck we're going to have doing that, but we're going to give it hell and see what we can do. So stick around. All right. We found a screwdriver that fits in. There's a hole at the top of this shaft. It's actually a threaded hole. But this screwdriver just fit in that hole. So I've got it clamped into my vise here. And we're just going to try to spin this. And I can see that shaft flexing. I am a little worried about it breaking, but I guess if we break it, we got a new one coming. So we're going to give it a try just by hand here. And yeah, I can see that shaft spinning. So we're going to try to put a little heat on it maybe. It's not really the right torch, but see if we can get up. Help us. I don't know if it's the way to go or not, but so see. Yeah, well, I see my screwdriver's bending. Well, what that was not the shaft breaking. It was actually my screwdriver broke, I believe. Yeah, it sure did. Yeah, that's my screwdriver I had in there. There's the other end of it. Alright, well, let's see. What else can we do? That shaft is in there. Paul was right. Well, I think since we got a new shaft coming, I'm going to hold off until it gets here. And, you know, like I said, I was going to rebuild this one. So let's just leave the shaft. Let's just leave the shaft there. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Move some of this stuff out of the way. And let's take a look at the new lower unit. Alright. Look at that. Yeah, not a scratch on it. That thing's pretty. Yeah, super pretty. Alright. Nice and clean until I get my greasy hands all over it. But yeah, there we go. Anyway, we will, once we get that shaft, we'll get that on there and get this thing all back together, and we should be up and running again. Anyway, stick around and we'll get this finished. Alright, well that took a minute. Finally got the shaft in. Yeah, anyway, that was a whole ordeal in itself, so I'm ready to get this motor back together, and so we're going to thread these wires through the shaft. All right. So we bought this stuff here. It's a high strength thread lock, and you know, as you saw, it works pretty well because I'm sure that that's what's in these, and that wasn't coming off, obviously. But if you're going to do what we're doing here and you have to replace that shaft, you definitely want to get this thread lock. It's cheap. It's not just, doesn't just lock the threads, it's actually seals it as well, so it helps prevent water from getting in there. We're not going to mess around. We're going to get a fair amount on there because, like I said, it helps keep the water out of there as well. Let that work all around through the thread. Looks like we're in pretty good shape there. On there nice and easy. Alright. And now we just need that to set up, and we're almost home. All right, that's got some good dry time on there, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the shaft mounted to the whole base unit here. Run the wires up through that hole first. There we go. There's a collar here that pushed out. Right here when I shove that shaft up through, so watch for that. It's not going to be too difficult to get that on. Hopefully the audio sounds a little bit better. I got a remote mic now. There we go. Alright, that's on there. We'll slip this collar on there as well. Make sure that the this end is down, so the tightening knob should be up like that. Easy enough to figure that out. Go ahead. Tighten that. So there's no hole in this this shaft. We're going to have to drill a hole in that shaft for this screw right here to go through. Yeah, there it is on the old one. but I think we can just get it lined up and figure out exactly where that goes. Feel like I'm missing something. I don't know what yet. And you know what? I don't think I'm missing anything. Yeah, I think that's exactly how that goes. Yeah, I think that's exactly how that goes, and I want to make sure it's lined up on that end. Let's see. Pretty sure this pointy spot here is going to point to the side where your prop is going to be on, because the prop is pulling you through the water, and you should be able to read Motorguide. All right. Let's see. Hopefully we can see inside here pretty well. I think that you can. But let's let that dangle there. So we've got this piece here is for GPS. There's an upside and a downside. So the upside does say up, so it's easy to identify. And remember, it's coming through that way like so. You've also got the main wire harness here. So this one, for the GPS puck, there's a groove in the bottom of this wire harness. And that's where this goes through. Got something like that. This will go here. Okay. And again, be sure you orientate the GPS module to up. Again, I think most of you know already, when you're screwing these screws into this plastic, whenever it's, had a screw in it already, there's threads there, and you want to turn that screw backwards. Whenever you start it, you turn it backwards, you can feel it thump into those threads, and then you can tighten it. And that way you're not cross-threading those, that mount and wallowing out the hole that this mounts on. So you don't need to go tight with that. Okay. All right, we're going to have to connect the wires here. Let's go ahead and cut these, because we don't need all this damn wire. I'm going to leave myself up. All right. Hopefully I didn't cut that too short. Set that out of our way. Strip the wire. These are some special kind of wire nuts. I don't have any wire nuts like that, but I'm sure I got something that'll work. I'm not going to use wire nuts. I'm going to use these connectors. I think that's the way to go. There we go. Yep, good. All right. Now, bring this wire stuff into here. Yeah, just like that. Cover on. Well, you want to be very careful not to do what I did. So, yeah. So I busted off one of the screw anchor points, and this one is actually cracked. That sucks, but I can fix that. We can use some good old JB weld and strengthen that up. It'll be just fine. All right. Getting back at this, I had to repair these anchor points on the top cap. Used JB weld, and actually it looks like it worked pretty well. I've already pre-tapped the holes. I drilled them out and re-tapped, and now we're going to put this thing together. Hopefully you don't have to deal with any of that. Don't make my mistake and put the wrong screws in there and crack those off whenever you're tightening them. So we're going to go ahead and get this lined up. Obviously the wire harness, this rubber here has two grooves in it that go right in here, and then you'll see some marks on your GPS puck wiring as well, where it fit on there too. It's pretty obvious. Get down there, yourself some slack, line cover up. And do not over tighten these screws. All right, just snug. Stop there. Spin around. Yeah, all right, nicely. Again, do not over tighten. Right, one more screw. Again, this is one that we prepared, so extra careful with this one. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, that's on there. Good deal. All right, so if you notice, this head is spinning on this. Look at the old shaft. You can see there's a hole through there. And we do have a screw and nut that goes straight through there, but we want to be sure that we have this head facing the right direction. So Is it with the narrow part to where the propeller goes, or does it go exact opposite? And before we drill that hole, we're gonna make sure we know what direction that is, although I guess it really doesn't matter. The hole just needs to go that direction. So we want to make sure that we get that hole right in the center, and actually it will be easier. Yeah, it's going to be easier to do it down this direction since the wires won't be in the way. Let's figure out what size hole that is that we need. All right, so the drill bit size is a 17/64. And let's see here, I think. Get that sucker straight up and down. Line it up. Make sure that it's good and vertical. It's all the way down. We're going to pre-drill with a smaller bit here. Get our mark. Well, we got our mark there. The other thing is I want to be sure I'm drilling straight down through that. And I mean straight through that. All right, I'm gonna do this on the drill press. That way I'm sure to get that straight down through. So I'm not gonna take the camera over there and film the drilling process. You just gotta drill this hole and make sure you get it straight right down through the center of the shaft. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, we got that hole drilled. Now we just got to take that bolt and get it stuck through there. You have to be careful when you're drilling that hole because you got those wires going through that shaft. And same with sticking this screw through. Those wires are going to impede you a little bit, but you can work your way around them for sure. I'm just gonna, one of the wires impeding me to get this nut through, but we will beat it. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try sticking that screwdriver through that way, then taking the bolt and following that screwdriver as it comes out. I think that worked. Yes, sir. All right, that worked. So that's a good tip for you. Take the screwdriver back through the hole this way, and then push the screw in that way. And that's gonna go right on there. There we go. Money. All right. I actually think, besides putting the prop on, we're finished with this. We're going to hook a battery up, and well, there we go. Got a battery right here. Yeah. Powered on, that's a good sign. Don't smell any smoke. Another good sign. Let me grab the remote control and let's see if we can get that to spin. All right, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yes. Back in business. Got a tournament this weekend. We're ready to go. Oh yeah, I'm excited about that. That's great. That's great. All right. Well, I think that's a wrap. That sucker's all put back together. Anybody can do this. You know, sure beats buying a whole new trolling motor. You know, we had to buy this unit down here. And it went on pretty damn easy, I'm going to say. I mean, all in all, it went on pretty easy. The next project, there it is. It just got GPS signal. You know, actually I ought to power this down. But the next project is going to be rebuilding this. And we might get some help for that. Might get some help from somebody that has done this section before. And I think it'll make a whole lot better video if I have somebody that does this that's done it before, because there are some tricks to this, I know. Hopefully I can recruit Paul Travis to help me make that video, and we'll go from there. So I just got to order a few parts for it, which I haven't done yet. I was focused on getting this done, and I had to chase that shaft down. Actually, the original shaft that I ordered still isn't here. But anyway, like I said, hopefully that helps you out. I think it went pretty smooth, and again, anybody can do this. So, you know, key thing to remember is order yourselves this kit right here. I'm gonna hold it up here. Hopefully you can see that. So it's Repair Kit L-Com. It's got O-rings in there, springs, and I don't know, everything you need to maintain. I'm gonna say once a season, you should take this apart, replace those seals and such. It's gonna make your trolling motor last a whole lot longer, and hopefully you don't have to do what I just did here. But if you do, hopefully this video helps. And if you've done this project before, please leave in the comments below if you've got any tips or anything that I didn't share that you have that might help others. Yeah, put those in the comments below, and I'd certainly appreciate that, and so would your fellow anglers who are having to repair their trolling motors as well. So once again, thanks for watching.